At the heart of our Zen practice is finding our own practice, finding our way, finding a way of practicing that works in the context of our real lives. This is one way in which listening to other students can be immensely helpful, just the experience of how did they find their way towards something like a Zen practice. And that can be, well, it's important to recognize it is in so many different possible ways. Why would we do this crazy thing, this crazy Zen thing anyway? Where's the attraction? Joko Beck said on a number of occasions, if you can do anything else except Zen, do that. Go surfing, start a new hobby, anything. Only do Zen if you can't avoid it, if there's no alternative. But we do, so why? What captures our attention? What holds our attention? Why do we keep coming back? So we can look upon almost the negatives. The way, well, for many of us, maybe for most of us in some ways, maybe for all of us, it's our experience of suffering, whatever form that takes, and the hope that there's something that can be done to address that. Obviously, Barry Magid's, key notion of curative fantasy, what we think Zen is going to fix in us, or what we think is going to fix in our relationship with the world, whether that's something quite specific or just a sense of disease, just really not being at home in the world, or some generalized sense of lack. What is it that we're looking for? And Barry's pointed out that this isn't something to be just worked through and then we get on with the real practice. This is our practice, working out our relationship with this over years. But of course there's also the positives, things we really enjoy or don't. What is it about the Zen path? And actually, again, so many different directions. For a century and a half, the lure of the mystic East has been really active in the Western mind. Do we love the Japanesey stuff? Do we love the kanji? Do we love the idea of robes? Do we love the idea of the Zen master? Or maybe we actually hate that stuff, won't we? That's not what interests me in Zen at all. I like the purity of it, the restraint of it, the fact that our practice is fundamentally so simple. Zazen, zazen, zazen. The rest can go hang. Or maybe I really like the chanting, or maybe I really hate the chanting. And actually all of that's okay. It's important that I enjoy my practice. It's important that I find points of engagement. Maybe I love the Zen literature, love being puzzled by koans, love reading through accounts of ancient Buddhas. Or again, maybe that's just completely off-putting. What's that to do with the heart of Zen? What's that to do with the core of it? And none of these attitudes are right, and none of these attitudes are wrong, but they're things to be investigated. They're the material of our practice, because our practice is always about our responses to the world, how we experience the world. So this isn't stuff to be judged or challenged. And actually, of course, we know that being judged and being challenged is one of the main things which we actually work through. Another of Barry's favourite lines, you can't do it wrong. Oh, but we all think we can. Or Uchiyama's, Zen is useless, Zazen is useless. Yeah, but if it's so useless, why are we all doing it? Why does it seem so cool? Or Barry's, you will never do another thing as useless in your life. But in what sense do we mean useless then? And then, of course, we have yet another chance to trip ourselves up. It's useless. Oh, but I'm really enjoying it. It's useless. Actually, it's making a real difference to my life. I must be doing it wrong. Again and again and again. So many ways of tripping ourselves up. And then I'm really getting into this stuff. I'm really enjoying it. I will become the good student. I will become the best student that there's ever been. I'm going to put in so much effort. And it may take me years to realise that that's not the point. Weirdly and equally, I may find that at some point I develop a pathological aversion to my cushion. I cannot make myself sit. I would rather do anything than actually go and sit. How? Why? And again, so many of these things are common to us all in one time or another as we go through our practice, or to one degree or another as we go through our practice. And Barry's very much averse to this, but Joko, there are some talks where students manage to nail her down to say, tell us about the stages of practice, Joko. She goes, well, it's this stage, that stage. So I'm going to say a few of the things which we may genuinely get out of Zen. These are not stages. These are not goals. They are not attainments. But they're just kind of things we may find that happen and are actually really interesting. I mean, for a start, awareness itself, actually being aware of this moment, and in some sense, maybe, we associate with the kind of stopping, stilling the world. And of course, then we can make a thing out of silence, or a thing about not thinking, which is crazy. But just actually, when we first go, oh, heavens. No, I'm actually aware in a way I never have been before of what's going on. That's interesting, isn't it? And that's what got me off taking that Hans, The Miracle of Mindfulness, that little book. You do it. Washing the dishes to wash the dishes. Heavens, how did that work? And then maybe we find, instead of isolated moments, it kind of actually comes together a bit, and we find, well, actually, I'm quite often aware in that sense, and actually it kind of joins up, and actually my life is beginning to feel a bit different. That's weird. Or again, I find that in my interactions with other people, whether that's trivial relationships, whether that's the people that are really most important to me in the world, that actually I find there's a subtle shift. I'm kind of noticing more, and because I'm becoming a little bit more aware, I'm noticing my responses to them more. And just noticing my reactions and responses, I find that they're changing a bit. And maybe other people's responses to me then are changing a bit. And maybe I'm finding we all get on a bit better. Maybe. Or maybe, well, and we've done a few talks around this idea recently. Maybe we begin to find that in some strange way, from time to time, it's not a problem to have problems. It's okay, it's not okay. And what that might mean as the experience of living a life. And none of those things necessarily sound very much enlightenment or about what we think our idea of enlightenment is. And none of those things are really about fixing my life or filling the horrible void that I feel at the centre of it. And yet, those are absolutely our practice. Those are absolutely what this returning, what this becoming the kind of being that does Zazen, what this becoming a person of Zen actually is. And so listening to people's individual stories about not right, not wrong, well, this is my experience. Put it beside everybody else's. Immensely valuable. We can learn so much just from sharing with each other. So I think that's all I wanted to say. This Zen business, funny business. What's your story?